Told you your face would be cold.
Starting on my sills right now. What the sills are is what I'm going to end up attaching four of my posts on top of this block wall. I'm using this. Oh, it's a rubberized. Well, it's a sill seal. It's rubberized, and I'll put that down on top on this whole back wall. Then what I'm using for my sill is a 3x8. So I've got this 3x8 already cut. I've got to go ahead and cut this mortise in. It's a 4x4 mortise. Now my block is 6 inch wide. These are 8 inch wide to match my posts, which a 2 inch overhang isn't going to hurt anything at all. So I've already punched these all out, and I'll end up taking the chisel and punching the rest of the way through. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll use a half lap on the far side to go ahead and join my sills together, so that I can go across this whole back wall with this seal. I'll end up drilling out to fit all my bolts and all that stuff through here, and then also I've got a small drain right here that I'll end up punching through. Here's my sill all set on. I've got 2 1-inch holes drilled in here that the other half flap will come on top of here and continue the sill this way. And I'll go ahead and snug down my bolts after I put washers on them. And that's where my post will sit. putting my posts on top of concrete. And so what I thought about doing with the weather and everything that I've got going on right now with a lot of wet coming down this time of year, I thought about making my knife plates out of these I-beams. So I've got these I-beams, they're about 5/8 inch thick or so. My posts, they're 10 inches across, 10 inches in width. My post will sit here, so my 8x8 post will sit here. I'm going to weld a knife plate or a quarter-inch piece of steel that comes up here that my post will end up going over top of, and then I bolt through it. But first I've got to go through and punch my holes out so I can redhead these to the floor. So I've got 4 posts that are on top of my back wall that are going on my on the sill that I've got on this video, and then I've got 10 posts that are going on concrete. So this is what I'm going to end up punching out and using for this. Back out here at my friend's shop. It's nice to work indoors. Pre-drilled all of these I-beams with an 1/8 inch drill bit, and now I'm going to punch them out with a 5/8 drill bit because I'm putting 5/8 redheads in the concrete. So I want to have a little bit of wiggle room because these only measure about a 1/2 inch, but I want to have a little bit of wiggle room just in case when I'm drilling the concrete out they scoot around a little bit. I've got all of these I-beams all drilled. I'm going to go ahead and just call them my knife plates because that's what they're going to eventually end up being. Now these are 3/4 inch steel by about 5/8 steel, and I talked to a structural engineer that builds metal buildings, and he says that these are good to just ridiculous PSI in pounds, like 70,000 pounds crushing strength, but I would double it if I added this 1/4 inch thick by 2 inch wide strap, because I guess the weakness on these is these bending. So rather than dealing with it down the road, I'd rather just deal with it now. And I'll go ahead and I cut a bunch of these straps, and I'm going to weld them on one side of these I-beams, which will keep these from going one way or another. If we ever end up having that type of a lateral load on these I-beams, I don't see why I would, but better safe than sorry. These are my original knife plates. So I've got this 2 inch here that'll go up inside the post, and then I can put a peg or bolt it, which I'm probably just going to bolt it clean through here. So the post actually sits over top of this. I just take a chainsaw and put it right up the bottom of the post, and then run that right up in there, and then I can bolt it in. I was originally going to go ahead and redhead this into the concrete, but with the weather and stuff I'm having right now, that's why I decided to build these. And I'm going to go ahead and just weld these on the top of this versus redheading them down to the concrete, so I can keep the moisture and everything off my posts. Here's all my post bases with all my knife plates welded on. Most of them are all different from each other because of the posts need to be low. These are all 10 by 10 across the top, and my posts are 8 by 8s. And in certain places I need my posts flush against the wall or flush against the door, so they've all been welded in different spots. But they should work great. These post bottoms. So this concrete was already cleaned off today. So I'm constantly dealing with trying to get this moisture off my concrete. So my thoughts are, if I can go ahead and get these post bottoms in, red-headed down to the ground on the concrete, then I don't have to keep worrying about cleaning the concrete off when I go to set these posts. So I can get these posts finished and go ahead and get them set when they're set versus chipping away all the ice and the snow that likes to sit up on here so fast in this time of year. So I think that's my solution, and it's also keeps these post bottoms out of the moisture for the rest of the year, since I'm not going to be able to finish this shop this year just because of the snow came in too fast, and I just couldn't get enough of the posts and beams and wood that I need to go ahead and get this shop all finished. Okay. That'll work. All right, Tail, you gonna punch these holes out?
Have my hands hurt tomorrow? Heck yeah.
Whatever. Make sure they're straight up and down. Hey, go real slow when you start so it stays in that mark that I put in there.
Yes, sir. How far down?
Keep going. I'll put a mark on that bit. That's it. Okay, now jump to the other hole. Back hole. Go ahead. Nope, make sure the nut's on it. Screw the nut down further, just in case you booger the threads, then you can fix it by pulling the nut off. There you go. Not too deep. A little more. Won't work that.